Hey guys, what's going on? TattsDeej here. This is the second in what I'm hoping will become a series of semi-inspirational videos. I don't consider myself much of a motivational speaker, but you know, as I go through some massive changes in my life, I'd kind of like to share some of my life experiences, and hopefully you take something out of it, and hopefully you can share some of your life experiences with me, and you know, in turn, I'll take something out of yours. What I want to talk about today is fear, and no matter who you are, no matter what you do in life, we're all afraid of something. And whether that's a physical object or an action, whether it be fear of confrontation or fear of going outside or fear of like snakes or something like that, we're all afraid of something. And to a certain degree, those fears hold us back in life. And I'll give you two different instances of things in my life that I'm you know, extremely afraid of. One being spiders and the other being needles. For the longest time, I was deathly, and when I say deathly, I mean like I had a paralyzing fear of spiders. Like to the point where like if I saw one, I would absolutely freeze up and would be absolutely no good. Did I feel like an absolute pussy? Absolutely, man. But one thing happened after, you know, after I became a dad. Things in your head start to change a little bit, and you know, when your 2-year-old comes up to you screaming because there's a spider and you're the only person in the house that can get it, you got one of two options, man. You can look like a punk in front of your kids and run away from the spider, or you go get it. Well, I chose to go get it, and I chose to overcome that fear, and in doing that it's allowed me now I don't even think about it, man. If there's a spider in the house, I go, I kill it, and it's done. You know, I still get that little bit of, I don't know about this pit in my stomach, but it's now not a paralyzing, I can't move fear. So, you know, in one way that was a fear I was able to overcome. The other one was a bigger, more deep-rooted fear with me, a fear of needles that goes back all the way to my childhood. I can remember as a kid breaking down in an absolute panic over having to have like shots or having blood drawn. And even as an adult, man, I had several jobs where as part of their drug screening you had to have blood work done, and you know, I would always every year try and, you know, jokingly talk my way out of it. It never worked, but you know, and I knew it wouldn't, but I would always try and talk my way out of it. And in my particular profession over the last 12 years, I've learned to do photography of the eyes, and some of the photographs we take require that we inject a dye into a blood vessel either in the arm or the hand, and then the dye goes into the back of the eyes and we take a series of pictures. And for the longest time, you know, my last employer kept going, well, we're gonna, you know, we need to get you trained so you can do your own injections, because you're doing your pictures, you need to learn to do your own injections. And for the longest time, out of just, you know, fear and stupidity, I ducked and dodged and weaved and avoided it, you know, like the plague. And it was stupid on my part because they were offering free education, but that fear always held me back. When I took this job in New York, I'm the only photographer, and the doctor is the only person in the office that can inject. It's not real good business for me to have to keep pulling him out of a room to inject this dye every time that I have to do pictures on a patient. It's bad business, it's bad for the clinic flow, and it looks bad on me. So finally I had to suck it up, and I had to learn to do my own injections. Now, over the years, I've probably seen thousands of them, so learning it wasn't that hard to do. So finally, my first day, I did my first injection, and I was nervous, but it went off without a hitch, man. Hit the vein, got the dye injected, took the pictures, done. And ever since then, each subsequent injection has just gotten a little bit easier and a little bit easier and a little bit easier, to where now I don't even think about it. Somebody needs an injection, I get the needle, and that's it. And I will say this, it's a hell of a lot less nerve-wracking when you're on the delivery end of the needle than it is on the receiving end, but still, it's a fear that I was able to overcome, and that has now not only made me not only better at my job, but more valuable in my job. And that's something that's very important to me because, you know, I take a lot of pride in my work. So those are two instances in my life where I was able to overcome a pretty big fear, and in a lot of ways it changed my life for the positive. And what I'd like to know from you is, what fears have you had in your life? And I'd also like to know if you were able to overcome some of those fears, and if you were, how were you able to overcome them? I'm going to let you go with that, either text responses or video responses. I always love video responses. I'm TattsDeej, love you guys, and I'm out.